Well, welcome to Pac-12 play. I think just every team is good, and I really have a lot of respect for Lynn Roberts and her staff and the job that she's doing building that program. And, no matter what, we beat an undefeated team to start it out, so I'm thankful for that. I thought we showed some really good pieces in the first half. I thought we had some good teamwork. I thought we were doing things together. We were causing them to get out of rhythm. I thought Paulina Herschler came in and gave us a good lift, and I thought that Nicole Cornett came in and was a punch off the bench as well. But second half, we just did not sustain focus and energy. Really disappointed in our carelessness with the ball and just our lack of consistent focus on the defensive end to take away what they wanted to do. So, you got to learn from every situation, and I didn't think we handled the second half as well as we needed to, but the reality is that the team that uses every single game as an opportunity to hold a mirror up to themselves and put something into practice the next day, they're the ones that are going to mold into championship form. And we're going to have to learn from this, come back tomorrow, and see how we can improve. Well, I think we mixed our defenses. They're a pretty methodical team. They're very execution-oriented, so we wanted to make them. Even a couple times where we gave up a bucket in transition, they weren't playing the way they wanted to play. It wasn't the rhythm that they wanted, and it was to our pace. So I think that we were able to put the ball in other people's hands, and they weren't able to find Potter as easily. And she was getting tired. They had to sub her a lot just because, a credit to all of our forwards, they were just really making her run. So I thought that it was our mixing defenses as well as our pressure to make them get out of their sets. Well, yeah. I think Kennedy Burke, has incredible reach. So at the top of the zone, when she gets a deflection, it's going to be a numbers break at the other end. And we have good finishers, and we have really athletic, versatile players like Monique that can finish in a variety of different ways. And so, I think I'm pleased with the turnovers we forced, especially in the first half, because I thought they were turnovers out of our game plan. Some of the turnovers we forced in the second half were just lucky, us being more athletic. And for us to, compete at the highest levels and live up to being a top 10 team, we're going to have to do things together. When Kennedy rotates out, someone's got to have her back. And when, Monique's got to spend a lot of time on Potter and really trying to help make her touches difficult, then someone else has got to, seal drivers better. And I thought the turnovers that we capitalized on the first half were because we were doing things together and we were having each other's back and we were sort of on a string. And so therefore you're more productive. When you create predictable turnovers, it's sort of like when you shoot predictable shots, good shot selection, you're a better offensive rebounding team. And second half, we weren't doing things together. So it was just, I felt bad for our fans. It was just ugly.
The last few days, we've been really focused on really focusing on the first game. But since the first half, we started really well. But then the second half, we just started being sloppy with the ball and not being consistent. So as of right now, we just have to move on to the next, be ready to get ready for Sunday. So.
Yeah, that's exactly what Coach Corey said in the locker room. So I think we just need to punch first and set the tempo, set the tone, and it's our court, and we need to act like this is our house. Definitely. You recognize each other's voice. If I don't see Kennedy behind me, but I can hear her, I know and I trust that she's gonna help me in the play or whatever is going on. So it builds a lot of trust and a lot of confidence.
Last year, I honestly had trouble being vocal, but I think this year I'm getting comfortable with talking and just being trustworthy. So, with my teammates.
She's worked hard at it, and so has Monique. I don't think it's either of their natural inclinations to be that vocal. That's a skill they have been willing to be pushed on, and I just don't think you can be a really good basketball team if you don't talk within the lines. You don't have to be rah-rah. But what I appreciate about both of them is that they have said, my team needs that from me. It's maybe not my most natural inclination, but I'm going to learn to talk because it's more important for me to put my team first. And both of them have developed that skill. And, Monique's one of the best players in the country. So when she, opens her mouth, you can listen. And it adds an intensity level. When your best player is being that aggressive, not only physically but vocally, it just adds another level. And I don't even think she realizes how influential her voice is.
Any other questions?
I'm trying to remember the play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Jordan ended up getting the rebound. I actually think Monique tipped the ball, and she ran up and contested it, and she got, we would call those almost like assist rebounds, but she tipped the ball, and Jordan ran it down. And when any of our guards get a rebound, it's really hard to keep us out of a numbers break. And so then Jordan was able to go coast to coast. But what I love is that, our ability to shoot the ball allows these guys, which Monique and Jordan, to dominate the middle of the floor. How many times did, in the first half even, that they made a bucket and we got the ball out quick, and even on a made basket, we were able to get right back and get a numbers break with Monique. It happened at South Carolina, it happened at North Carolina A&T, and it happened today. Jordan and Monique have a really good connection in the middle of the floor. And it's also a selfless thing, because if our shooters weren't spreading it out, they wouldn't be able to dominate the middle of the floor. But they've sort of they automatically look for each other down the middle. And their ability to separate from the defense it's going to be hard-pressed to find anyone who's any more athletic and in tune with each other in transition situations. It's funny, too, because Utah's strength and conditioning coach was my strength and conditioning coach here my first year. But she's done a heck of a job there. They love her. But we believe Jordan Jackson and Duval, as well as Dave Wood, who's the head guy, I do believe that our team feels that we're more fit than anyone we play. And I do think that that's a huge deal. But most of that is their choice and commitment. If you watch them run, we do a thing called fitness and focus free throws, where you shoot two free throws, and then you run a baseline to baseline sprint. And many times our players are going way past the line. They're adding the ball to it, and they've paid the price. They've been willing to be pushed out of their comfort zone to win the fitness battles.
I think it just gives us good focus and determination just to keep that streak going and to keep playing hard and playing on our home floor and keeping our record undefeated on our home floor. And I don't know, it's a good feeling. Yeah, I think just a solid win is good in our books anyways. So, yeah.
I think what you're hearing from them is they know what's in front of them as a Pac-12 game. So I don't care if you're undefeated or over. In Pac-12, you're like glad to get the dub.
Mm-hmm. We're just trying to win the weekend, every single weekend.
Mm-hmm. Champions of the weekend.
Yeah.
Never. It's really unbelievable. But they did have our attention. I mean, we did talk about it, Jill, that that they're undefeated. That really outside of that one trip up with Colorado, they were undefeated going into the weekend and 18th ranked in the country. And so, they had our attention. And we were definitely aware that they had not lost and that they were going to be a really formidable foe. They also, were leading the conference in offensive rebounding, and that's something we led last year. So they definitely, we didn't come into this game not understanding that this was a really good team. So I think it's not that big a deal whether they're undefeated or not, but them being undefeated definitely got our attention. as usual. Thanks, you guys.
Thank
for being here.
you.
Happy New Year to you guys.